Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Nish. If you are returning, hey girl, hey, welcome back. So yeah, y'all, I know it has been a minute. And as you can see, life is lifing, okay? Can you hear the kids? I mean, my youngest son, it's 1 in the mornings and, well, I can't really say that. He's just throwing a little fit right now. So if you hear him, please excuse me. I did this video several times. I have critiqued myself to where I can't critique myself any longer. I'm like, girl, put this video out, okay? You're never gonna evidently look the way you wanna look. So just put it out and just do what you gotta do till everybody can know what's going on with you. So yeah, y'all. So since the last time you guys saw me, a lot has happened. That day when you guys saw me was rough. And I ended up going above the assistant principal's head, and I went to her, well, the principal, and I expressed to her everything that was going on and how I felt like she had disrespected me and, you know, this was being unprofessional and stuff like that. And she was on top of it. She went right to who she needed to go to, and she was like, okay, we can't have this. Like, when I told her, I just felt like she really understood, and she was so compassionate about everything that I was saying, and she just handled me with care. That's how I felt. And she made sure that she was reprimanded for how she had treated me and, you know, talked to me and everything. Because it was other situations that I didn't talk about on camera that had happened as well. So when and let me back up, so I don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to make this video too long. So once all that happened, and she knew it was everything that was going on with the little boy, and then her, you know, assistant principal, she agreed to drive the bus with me for a little bit, a day or two. She ended up driving the bus with me for 3 days just to kind of help me out in the morning and keep the kids she drove with me actually in the morning and the afternoon. And I really appreciated that. But y'all, even after all of that and everything, you know, things were looking up for me, and God had really worked it out. When I say that, you know, he made everything fall into place, I still felt uncomfortable. I still felt like I just wasn't happy. You know, I just felt like, and I know, just if I'm being honest, it was because of the tension and I just felt tense. I just felt like where I used to be happy and be able to have fun and smile and laugh, I just felt like it was just tension. I let that person get to me to the point where I was like, I'm out of here, you know, and I ended up quitting. I ended up quitting that following week. I don't remember the date or whatever, but so let's just say that week y'all saw me. The next week I ended up quitting, and I was like, I can't deal with this. I don't feel happy. I just feel like whatever. So as I was home, at first, you know, I was okay, but I just noticed that as I was home, I just felt like very low. I felt like I had let her win. I felt like I let that spirit that resides in her, I felt like I let it win. And I felt like I didn't do it the way that I wanted to do it. Like, I didn't want to leave like that. You know, I wanted to stick it out, but I let fear run me away. And I was like, just thinking about it, and it just I felt like it was eating at me. Like, you know, all I could do was think about the kids and, you know, who's driving my bus and this and that and that and this. And so I kept getting messages because some of my kids, you know, were friends on Snapchat, and then I'm friends with, you know, the parents, and, you know, so they're reaching out like, what are you doing? What's going on? Where you been? And because I didn't really say anything because I had left the job previously. So I felt like I didn't want to just go out and tell everybody I'm leaving, and then, you know, it'd be a thing where I'm right back. So I was just letting them know, like, I left or whatever the case may be. So I was off the job for a total of 3 weeks. So before I made a decision to go back, my niece, her mom reached out to me, which is my husband's sister. My sister-in-law reached out to me and was saying that the kids were telling her daughter that they miss me so much. And I don't know, in that conversation, I just felt like I need to make a decision. You know, my pride, it was just like, I felt like I did not want to go back to this boss and say, or my boss at the time, and say, I need my job back. I just felt like, here I am again, you know, and I've done this again, you know. So anyway, long story short, me and him had a long conversation, and he agreed to take me back. I went back, and when I went back with a different mindset. I went back knowing that I'm going to do whatever I can do better on my end. So I know that I would tell them certain things that a kid did, but I wasn't the best with turning in my report, like a warning or like a written, what do they call them, y'all? A write-up. I wasn't really the best with that, because a lot of times when I got there in the morning and I told them, okay, such and such did this, what happened was I would then go home and forget, and I wouldn't write it up because you're in a line. So if I have a teacher get on my bus, or an administration, any form of administration get on my bus, and then I leave, y'all, I was thinking about breakfast. I didn't went over there to Food Lion. I just, I wasn't thinking about writing it up. And as my day went on, so many things happened. You forget. Sometimes I would remember if it was something that really struck a nerve like that. I would remember, but sometimes I just, would forget. So I made sure this time when I went back that I had everything set up. So I did, y'all. I made sure that she had all her write-ups. Every time I said something, I was like, here. So I ended up getting like 2 new children on my bus. And so let me back up a little bit too, real quick, before I add this in. When I left that time, she had made some changes to my seating. Not much. It was still the same seating chart. But she had made a few changes. So fast forward to when I came back, I got a couple new students, and she was saying that she wanted a seating chart. And I'm like, okay, slipped my mind, y'all. It slipped my mind. I had already did a seating chart, not once, but a couple times. So of course, seating charts is one of the things that can be a little bit annoying to do if I'm, and a lot of times the kids don't necessarily sit where they're supposed to anyway. You can have them sitting in a certain spot and they jump so what I'm saying is, if I'm driving and my eyes are on the road and such sits back there with such and such, or creeps behind, and I don't see, anything could happen within that time frame. They could hit each other. They could be touching each other inappropriately, and I wouldn't know. So that's the type of stuff that happens. Now, if you do have a seating chart in place, which I have, I made cute little name tags and stuff throughout my bus, and colorful, cute stuff for the kids. So I do have something set in place. Long story short, if it was all like that, she could have just added the way she had already changed it. She could have added the kids in a couple different seats and said, I made it like this. If you don't like it, switch it up and let me know. But anyway, it became a bigger thing than what it had to be. So I want to get to this main week. So this week, right now, as I'm talking to you, it's been about 2 weeks. Well, 2.5 weeks. My time is like a little bit off because I've been home, and you lose track of time. But about 2.5 weeks or so ago, 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks. She came, and on a Tuesday, she was like, do you have the paper? And I said, no, I'll make sure I get it to you this week. Oh, okay. Because she had already asked me beforehand. And I was like, I'll get it this week. She was like, I don't believe you. And she's walking away because she always has like this smile grin thing. And for me, I always thought it was sincere. But anyway, so Thursday comes, and this is a Friday for us. And I'm forgetting that it's a Friday because, y'all, again, this job, when I say it stressed me to another level, so I don't even realize it's a Friday, even though it's Thursday, because we have a 3-day weekend. So she's like, you going to get me the paper? I said, yes, I'm going to get it. God had already told me, he had already dealt with me to get the paper in on Wednesday. And this is when obedience is key. When God tells you to do something, do it. Don't sit. Just go ahead and act on it. He's telling you for a reason. We all have the ability to hear his voice. But anyway, so Thursday comes, and she's like, this is morning time. I'm in a line, and she's like, do you have the paper? And I'm like, oh no. I was like, I'll get it to you by today. She was like, I bet you won't. She was like, I bet you won't. I bet you $20 that you won't have it. And she's just smiling. And, I just, when I think about the whole situation, it kind of like, I can't even smile because it just disgusts me, how things played out. So I said, okay, say no more. Because I already had intentions on having it done anyway. I had my paper already ready. She didn't know this, because I'd already told her before. So in her mind, she's thinking, oh, please, girl, you done said this before. You ain't going to have it. So I make sure I get everything done, and I come to see her at the end of the day. And I left the paper on my bus because she comes out to see me. So I said, her back is turned towards me. She has a little girl in her office, and she's, you know, doing whatever to the little girl. And normally she's not there. Normally the office has been quiet. There's nobody really in the office. And there's only normally 2 receptionists or secretaries that sit up front, maybe 3. And then that's it. Nobody. Oh, and the nurse. The principal, main principal, she's never in her office. She's off doing whatever. So her back is turned towards me, and I say, I got your paper. A bet's a bet, you know, and I'm smiling because I'm thinking that, you know, you were playing with me this morning. Even though I know that you have done me wrong, I still, in my mind thinking that we could be cool again, and there's a possibility, you know, playing around with these different, you know, you can't play around with these spirits, you know. So honey, when I tell you that she grew horns, a tail, and became a whole beast, she was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me after 6 weeks? You got to be kidding me. And I'm sitting there feeling like I don't want all the way back to 2nd grade, because I have a kind heart, and I don't really expect people to treat me like that, even though they do when they do it time and time again. I forgive and I forget. I forget. It takes me some time to understand, you know? And so I'm sitting there looking dumb, y'all, just dumbfounded with a stupid look, like, I cannot believe, like, you're talking to me like this. And I just have, like, a grin on my face because I'm just, like, feeling like an idiot, you know? And she was like, it shows how important it was to you. And I'm just like, whoa, you know, like, and let me say this. I felt like the devil had positioned people. Like, it was... This office, when I tell you it's normally nobody there, it's nobody there. Well, let me say it was 10 people with kids. A couple kids were in there. 10 people. And I'm looking around and people are literally looking at me as she's saying all this stuff. So they're looking at me and I'm just like, I want to say something right now. I really want to lay you out. But I'm thinking, like, my mind moves fast. So where somebody else would do something in a split second, I'm thinking about the repercussions that quick. So as I'm going down the hall, she's like, and she's walking across me, and I'm walking down the hall to go to the restroom, because not only did I come in there to tell her that I was going to the restroom. So she was like, you did it? You did it off of $20? And y'all, let me say, I didn't care about the $20. I didn't care about the $20. It was the fact that I already knew I needed to do it, and then you bet me. So it was like, you know, it was like, okay, you're calling my bluff. So I want to make sure I get it to you, because, you know, if you need it that bad, because at this point you could have been added the kids on. You could have been added them. If it was all like that to you, instead of building it up and letting yourself get upset, just say, I added them on to this seat. I didn't get something from you, because you don't know what's going on in my life. I had so many different things going on that was the last thing on my mind. So with that said, I went to the bus. I was upset. I called my husband. I knew I had to do something, because at this point, I'm like, I can't take this no more. So I went above her head, went to the principal yet again, and she said, I'm going to handle it. I'm going to handle it. Like, I can't believe she's done this again. I'm going to handle it. And I'm telling my boss, and mind y'all, like I said, it was a 3-day weekend. Well, when that Monday came back, I didn't come back. I was like, I need some more time. Long story short, I ended up taking that week off, but within that week, he had went to the head of transportation and had a conversation. And at the end of it, what was said was she was not allowed to talk to me, come to my bus, address my bus, nothing. She was not supposed to even address my bus. And y'all, I don't know why I got this comb. But I was happy with that. I was like, thank you. Like, I'm grateful that, you know, you went the extra mile to do that. But at that point, I didn't know it, but it was just a little too late. When I went back to work that following week, I was in a groove and everything was going good. And I was trying to really be as positive as I can be. But y'all, at the end of the day, when your soul leaves a job, leaves a relationship, a friendship, when your soul leaves anything in life, take your body. I read that and it hit me. When I read that, that's what made me make the decision. It was like, when your soul, and I forgot who, I'll look up the quote and I'll put it up here, but when your soul leaves, take your body with it. And I felt like I just wasn't there. Like, I love the kids. I shower them with love, affection, the same way I want somebody to do mine, but I just wasn't there. I wasn't happy. I felt so lost on that job, and I just felt like it was just so much chaos, confusion, and I just know that that's not where God wants me to be, in that state of mind. And I just was like, I'm leaving. Like, that Tuesday, I decided to not come back. So that's where I am. I am home. And I have never felt happier about that decision. All the other decisions I felt like I made, and I made them hastily, and I didn't make them, I just made them out of fear. But this time when I made it because I was putting myself first. And I decided, you are going to come first. You have to put yourself first. It's not about the kids. It's not about your boss, how he's going to feel. Because these were all the different things that I was feeling. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, he's taken me back so many times. Like, I felt like I had something to prove, and I felt like I owed him something. I felt like I owed them kids something. But at the end of the day, I owe myself everything. I lost over 100 pounds. My weight was being compromised. I was constantly going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I could not get it together. And I knew that this job was affecting me. And I was just like, I got to get out of here. This job is the first job that I've been on for this long period of time. I was here for 4 years. And getting that license was not easy. Whoever knows I got a CDL know that the test and all that stuff is not easy to get. It's something that you really have to work hard for. So for me, I didn't want to just feel like I just threw that away. But I wasn't. Like, this is something that I'll keep for forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I make sure I do what I do, which isn't not hard, you just keep it up and that's it. But I just felt like God has something more for me. I could feel it in my soul, my spirit, and it's just time for me to go after it. And that's why I made this video today, because I just felt like this has nothing to do with that, but I just want to say this, that I felt like something was trying to hold me back, just even from making this video and putting myself out there. Fear, just fear of whatever. Like, I care about my image, and I just want people to see me in a particular light, and I want to make sure all my words are coming out right. I want to make sure my hair is laid down right, my face is looking right. Oh my gosh, do I look like? And God's like, stop it. When I tell you to move, you move. And this is a message for whoever's watching this. I know y'all, whoever's watching this is, you're watching it because just my videos in the past of me being a school bus driver. But if you know, you know. I'm rooted. God is who I serve, every single thing I do, my day is based around him. I'm constantly reminded, of him, his grace, his mercy, his love, like all day long. That's just where I want to be. And I just want to encourage you, don't take my word for anything that I'm saying on here. God, go to him first. You have to do what's best for you. What's best for me may not be best for you, and what's best for you may not be what's best for me. I think that being a school bus driver is a wonderful job, especially for older people or for somebody younger that doesn't necessarily have, a lot going on. Like, for me, I felt like it was a good job, but at the same time, it has its pros and its cons to it. And it just, for me, over time, the cons outweighed the pros. So I had to make a decision and move forward and do what was best for me. If being a bus driver, school bus driver is what you want to be, go after it. Go after your dream. Chase your dream and follow your dream. You may love it. You may retire doing it. For me, I was just here, and I was meant to be here for a season. This is not my long-term thing. God used this for me as a stepping stool to take me to greater. He had to teach me discipline. He had to teach me getting in the habit of a routine, being in a routine and staying focused. It was times that I had flukes where my water was cut off. My child was sick, bad, stomach virus, flu. Before, the old me would have quit when stuff like that happened, because I wanted to be here and I didn't want to feel like I had to answer to anything. But I still pressed over that. I pressed over it. You know what I'm saying? And I went and I smiled and nobody knew. So God showed me how I could persevere in hard times. And even when I start my own thing that I'm doing, how I can still remain disciplined and, go after whatever I want. So when you look at me, me being a school bus driver is not something that I regret. I love doing it, and I put my whole heart and soul into those children. They still make me feel good. I still talk to some of the families, and I'll keep in touch, and you know, I love them. But at the end of the day, do what's best for you. You know, pray about it. Pray about, you know, whatever, you know, if you feel like you're not sure, whatever the case may be. I kept trying to go to my family. I kept going to this person, that person, saying, especially my husband and my mom, them two people, like, you know, like, I don't know what to do. And they both was like, you got to go, you know, they couldn't give me an answer. I had to make the decision on what I wanted to do with this job. And at the end of the day, who I should have been going to, I wasn't. You know, I should have been going to God and really asking him, like, what do you want me to do? But at the end of the day, I don't think that I wanted to hear him say stay. So I was trying to go to people, you know, and get the answer. But finally he released me. He and when I say release me, my soul was at ease. I felt comfort, and I felt at ease in my soul. You know, sometimes we know when not to make decisions, but we still make them anyway. And it backfires. So, you know, trust your instinct, trust your gut, trust God. You know what I'm saying? So that's all, y'all. Enough of me rambling. If you made it to the end, put a heart down there, because this is you know, I was trying not to make this a long video, and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I cut it to where it's not too long, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to my channel. If you are new, consider subscribing. I would love to have you be a part of my family. I know if you look back on my videos, I haven't been as consistent as I would like, but now I'm moving forward, and consistency is going to be what I'm all about this coming year, y'all. So, or the rest of this year, because y'all, I feel like this year is going back. This year is going so fast, it's not even funny. Like, we're almost to June already, you know? Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see y'all in the next video. Be blessed.